killer's on sale. The weeds won't know what hit them.
Good. I don't want them to suffer.
Little Caesars presents Shake Your Caesar. 2 pizzas, crazy bread, and a mix-it-yourself Caesar salad. Just to shake things up. Family-size Caesar salad. 2 pizzas and crazy bread for only $8.98. And that's what's shaking at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
You have a different view of life. You don't want to get bogged down in revolving credit on bank cards. All that revolving debt, all that outrageous interest. This is not for you. You know how to get out of that trap. The card, the American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
The green flag is out. They're racing at Indy. Wow, look at him go.
Every driver's dream, the Indianapolis 500 someday.
A place where fantasies come true? Jack's Place.
Oh, I've always wanted to go to Paris.
What are you waiting for?
Paris.
A magical place.
Close your eyes. When I snap my fingers, you say, Joyce, I'd really love to go out with you again.
Joyce, I would really like to go out with you again.
How about tomorrow at 7:30?
1 visit could change your life.
It was one of those kind of dates where you just hope the night's never gonna end.
Hal Linden and Finola Hughes run Jack's Place, opening Tuesday.
Everyone's talking about Dan Quayle and Murphy Brown. They are an item. The columnists are arguing, the editorialists are thundering, but perhaps most interesting and devastating of all, the humorists are having a field day. Let's take a look at what they're doing about and to Vice President Quayle.
Now, first, I want to thank the Vice President of the United States, Dan Quayle, for coming through for me one last time before I leave.
He writes our stuff for us.
Well, Dan Quayle has made all humorists very rich.
Oh, yes. All over America, they're once again poking fun at Dan Quayle, the political humorists, on television, in the newspapers, and like Mark Russell, on stage.
Rock-a-bye, baby, of Murphy Brown. You certainly caused quite a stir all around. We were so bored with the news in a rut, and then Danny Quayle called your mommy a slut. The Reverend Quayle is beating his drum. A sitcom is what this election's become. A sermon from Danny is quite apropos. Then all single parents will vote for Perot.
Ever since he burst on the national scene in 1988 as George Bush's running mate, Quayle has been the butt of the professional jokesters. So when they heard what he said on Tuesday in San Francisco...
It doesn't help matters when primetime TV has Murphy Brown, a character who supposedly epitomizes today's intelligent, highly paid professional woman, mocking the importance of fathers by bearing a child alone and calling it just another lifestyle choice.
When Quayle said that about Candice Bergen's portrayal of an unwed professional woman who elected to have her baby rather than terminate her pregnancy, why, the humorists knew their mother lode was ready for mining once again. It began last night on television. David Letterman.
Earlier today, at an emotionally charged press conference in Los Angeles, Candice Bergen announced that, yes, the riots in South Central L.A. had, in fact, been her fault. So...
Johnny Carson.
Now, I'm surprised, first of all, that Quayle watches Murphy Brown. Isn't that opposite F Troop on cable?
Dennis Miller.
Dan Quayle blasted the season finale of TV show Murphy Brown, saying that it is morally wrong to raise a child without a strong male role model. Hey, Danny, Marilyn's been doing it for years, my man, all right?
By this morning, the newspaper cartoonists were beginning to weigh in. A publishing company in Northern Virginia that puts out a weekly compendium of the best cartoons had no trouble picking this flap as topic A for their next issue. The Washington Post's Herb Block began his take with the ring announcer proclaiming, "And in this corner, wearing White House trunks and a dopey expression, Danny, but seriously, folks, Quail. New York Newsday's Doug Marlette has Quail saying, "I blame Murphy Brown for the race riots." And in the next panel, a voice tells Murphy holding her baby, "Congratulations, Murphy, it's a cop." The New York Post's Sean Delona shows Bush holding Quail on his lap and saying, "There, there, Danny, what's the matter? Did mean old Murphy Brown scare my little baby?" And then there's Pat Oliphant, one of the most biting of the political cartoonists, who often draws Quail in a baby carriage, and who jumped on him hard today.
I have set the scene again in the Bush Quail Family Values Clinic for the disgusting unmarried mothers and the wicked progeny thereof. And we have Nurse Quail in attendance today, and he's talking to this black lady who is nursing 2 infants, and she's also largely pregnant. And he's saying name, and she's saying Murphy Brown. The Penguin is standing aside while Bush, a tiny Bush here, is saying, "Not the Murphy Brown. Gosh, could I get your autograph?"
What you're doing is holding Quail up to laughter.
Well, that's the name of the business. That's what we do.
Is that fair?
Oh, yes, absolutely. There's nothing fair in this business. I don't think we're looking for fair. We're looking for truth.
And you think
we'll find truth
in
by
that
laughing at it.
cartoon you found truth in Dan Quail?
I think so. Yeah.
The raw material for such biting truth comes from real life. And over the years, Quail has handed his critics lots of raw material.
The question is whether we're going to go forward to tomorrow or we're going to go past to the back. I believe that I've made good judgments in the past, and I think I've made good judgments in the future.
Quail has a tendency to stumble on the stump, sometimes humorously, as when he landed in Pango Pango, American Samoa, and called it Pogo Pogo. Sometimes sadly, when he took the United Negro College Fund slogan, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste," and garbled it into, "What a waste it is to lose one's mind, or not to have a mind." And sometimes he's simply not found anything much to say one way or the other, as when he landed in Hawaii.
Well, Hawaii has always been a very pivotal role in the Pacific. It is in the Pacific. It's the part of the United States that is an island that is right here.
It's such material that columnist Art Buchwald uses when he writes about Quail. He's done a column on the Murphy Brown incident, which will run next week. He's sure people will still be interested in this story for a long time. Among other things, Buchwald says of Quail, he wants them to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps and to straighten up and fly right, and if need be, join the National Guard.
Bush said that he'd like to have Quail run again, and if this is true, I'll never ask God for anything again.
You mean it's God's gift to humorists?
He has been the greatest gift we've ever had. Next to Agnew, I think he's as good as they come.
And what does it matter, the humor? After all, Vice President Quail has developed a thick skin. He can take it. It matters because humor gets to the point of things. It is a leveler, and it can level politicians and their ambitions. There's an old saying that fits here for those who seriously aspire to greatness. Love me or hate me, but don't laugh at me.
Down in Southern California, down the road from Hollywood, there's some blood and...
In Washington tonight, the Capitol Step singing group rehearses their new song.
But Danny Quail does not blame Georgie. Danny Quail does not blame Ron. I am not such a dumb one. I have just found me someone I can blame these riots on. She is
bad Murphy Brown.
And as the humorous avalanche builds, Vice President Quail tells reporters he's hanging tough. Mr. Vice President, do you regret what you said?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't change one word in the speech I delivered in San Francisco.
Well, you know, sir, that the cartoonists and the Johnny Carsons are having a field day at your expense.
I'm sure that the media elite and Hollywood didn't like the speech that I gave, but the American people support what I'm talking about. I'm talking about values, I'm talking about family, I'm talking about integrity, I'm talking about opportunity, I'm talking about personal responsibility. And Hollywood and the media elite may not understand that, but America does.
But when you beat up on Murphy Brown, I mean, don't you think a lot of people say, hey, that's not fair?
It's a bigger issue than that. It's an issue of values, and that's what I'm talking about, and I'm going to continue to talk about.
You might be interested to know that it was no ghostwriter who slipped the Murphy Brown line past an unsuspecting Dan Quail. No, when Mr. Quail's staff saw the first draft of the speech, they took the line out, fearing it was the wrong thing to say. But when the vice president saw what they'd done, he personally put the line back in. And no one thinks he did it on purpose as a going-away present to Johnny Carson.
The new Jeep. The world's only 4x4 with a standard driver's side airbag.
Ultima is color. Bold, expressive, provocative color. And Ultima is the naked's neutral, timeless, sensuous color. For lips, eyes, face, and cheeks. In every shade of gorgeous. Ultima II. Stylemaker, 20 shades of gorgeous for your eyes. $12.50 with any Ultima II purchase at JC Penney.
Dixie wants to remind you, not all paper plates are as strong, soak-proof, and cut-resistant as ours. Dixie paper plates. Dish it out. We can take it.
Why struggle? Get the power you need. Get the corded Dirt Vac from Black & Decker. It handles tough dirt even on stairs. Its motorized brush and powerful suction quickly cut through the toughest jobs. The Dirt Vac easily tackles all kinds of pet hair. And its snap-on attachments get dirt wherever it hides, especially in tight crevices. The Dirt Vac vacuum, the only one with the guts to carry the Black & Decker name.
Drench yourself in a wave of
Living with a disability when you're not disabled.
Coming up at 10, some city leaders in Pierre find out firsthand just how hard it is for the disabled to function in the capital city. New statistics for smokers, some good and some bad news.
And the presidential candidates are trying to raise more than money on the campaign trail. The news is next.
What really happened when L.A. exploded? A special nightline takes it apart minute by minute, gripping first-hand accounts from people on the inside. Ted Koppel, A Moment of Crisis, Anatomy of a Riot, next Thursday at 10, 9 Central.
We won't be here next week. In our place, a special edition of Nightline. Ted Koppel has a preview.
A Nightline special investigation, startling new information on what went wrong in Los Angeles.
Shocked. I could simply not believe it.
From the men and women on the front lines.
It wasn't even rocks, it was bricks and bottles. It was chaotic. A lot of chiefs.
Who's running the city? All players on a stage set for anarchy. Moment of crisis. Anatomy of a riot.
And on June 4th, Primetime will be back with an undercover investigation. You wouldn't buy a car that got bad ratings, so why should you go to a doctor or a hospital that has a lousy record?
What kind of results do they generally have? Excellent.
Our hidden cameras reveal what doctors tell patients about their past performance and competence is not always accurate.
Doctor, do you think that you fairly represented your mortality rate?
Chief Correspondent Chris Wallace reports on surgical scorecards. Crucial information everyone ought to have before getting medical care. That's in 2 weeks on Primetime.
And don't forget to watch 2020 right here tomorrow night. I'm Diane Sawyer in Los Angeles this week. Good night to all of you. Always great to see you, Sam.
Always great to be here, Diane. Good night, Diane. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another edition of Primetime Live.
For transcript of Primetime, send $5 to the address on your screen.
Primetime is a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
America's watching ABC.
Hey, I'm into trucks big time, but I'm not going to pay for some gas guzzler like my dad drives. And if you're a young guy like me, you've got better things to spend your money on than maintenance. That's why I bought a Toyota. Legendary reputation for reliability. Simple decision. I saved a lot of money with the option package, so I end up with a great truck and a low payment. And it's the best-looking truck on the road.
Thursday, the search for a babysitter is on.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Simpson. Come back for more, eh?
The Simpsons. Then, Jerry's got a big night planned for the best buds.
There's a Hollywood Squares documentary tonight on A&E.
But now he'll have to find new friends.
You think he's gonna beat you up?
Logic would suggest that, yes.
Can he prove he's one of the gang?
Oh, yeah. A cold brewski. A chili brouhaha.
First beer?
Yes.
And all new Parker Lewis. After The Simpsons, Thursday.
This is just one of the many parts you can play as a young Red Cross volunteer. Volunteer and play your part.
You're watching KTTW, Channel 17, Sioux Falls.
KTTM, Channel 12, Huron.
There is a mighty spirit shining out.
In Salisbury, Maryland, the hungry are being fed. In Wind Falls, Indiana, a man who learned to read at 47 is making sure others learn earlier. In Hope, New Mexico, people turned an abandoned school into a thriving community center. In Boston, Massachusetts, neighbors set up a crime hotline that's making the streets safer. From Seattle to Galveston, from Buffalo to Fargo, every day, someone in America is doing something to light up another life. But there is so much more to do. The light to do it is within us all. We only need to share it. Contact the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Hello, darling. Nice to see you.
Conway Twitty.
It's been a long time. You're just as lovely.
He's had more #1 hits than anyone in country music history.
I wanna hold you.
Now we present all of Conway Twitty's best-loved hits.
So watch her untie the tie that binds. You want a man with the soul hand.
2 great albums.
I can tell you've never been this far before. That's my job.
It's not in stores, so order now.
That's
Call 1-800-372-5500. Use your credit card to save COD charges or send check or money order for $12.98 for records or cassettes or $19.98 for CDs plus $3 shipping to Conway Twitty, P.O. Box 1771, Department KW, Burbank, California.
Productivity was supposed to increase. None of my people can run the thing. I can't even get someone out to help us. We might as well go back to doing everything by hand. This computer wasn't the investment I thought it would be. In fact, the only thing it's good for is a boat anchor.
At Computer Dimensions, our reputation rests on providing all the services you demand. Now in a new location, 3816 Southwestern.
The NHRA points race is coming to Thunder Valley in Marion, August 28th through the 30th. Alcohol buddy cars, alcohol dragsters, Super Cup, gas, street, and stock. And KTTW has more tickets than we know what to do with, so we're giving them away. Between August 22nd and the 26th, watch Fox from 7 to 9 nightly for the Pat Austin Burnout and your chance to call in and win. The first call each night will win 4 weekend passes to the races, brought to you by Thunder Valley Dragway and KTTW Television.
Gee whiz. Let's see. Work history and a trade school. Bachelor's degree. This guy hasn't had a job in 4 years. National College. And he kept his job while he earned his degree.
At National College, you can earn the 4-year degree you need to compete in today's business world while you keep your current job. For more information, contact National College today, 334-5430.
They
taken us where none have gone before, time and time again. Now, thrill to television's greatest legend 5 times a week with the Emmy Award-winning Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Fire all weapons.
5 times the adventure. 5 times the drama. 5 times the excitement from the final frontier. Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Weeknights at 6, starting September 21st on KTTW KTTM.
Parents, here's how you can share a memorable time with your children.
She is one of America's toughest drug enforcement agents. She is making a difference in the nation's war on drugs. Last year, she helped convict 90 drug dealers, seize several tons of crack and marijuana, and close down 10 major drug operations in her area. She is a 68-year-old grandmother. Her name is Irma. She set up a community drug watch that is changing her neighborhood. She did it for a lot of reasons, but the 2 most important ones are beside her. There are many ways to help in your community. To find out how, call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Today, there are at least 4 million victims of Alzheimer's disease. But for almost every one of those victims, there's another. A husband or wife, a son or daughter, whose entire life changes with the demands of caregiving. The Alzheimer's Association stands by them with emotional, informational, and referral support. If you stand by someone with Alzheimer's disease, call the Alzheimer's Association. They're here to stand by you.
Remember all those great campus parties in the 60s? Well, Sessions has a new 4-record set that's just loaded with all those great memories. It's called 60s Frat Rock. Just listen.
My baby does the hanky-panky.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and down. 60s Frat Rock contains 40 great party hits of the 60s. And every song is the original hit by the original artist.
I keep on dancing for
Then I saw her face.
now I'm a believer.
Judy in the sky.
When I think about the good love you gave me, I try like a baby. Let's hang on to what we got.
You'll also get great hits by the Turtles, Sam and Dave, the Kinks, and the Contours.
Do you love me? I can really move. Change, change, change. Devil with the two-dress song. He's the devil with the two-dress song. Bully, bully. Bully, bully. Loose, making love to your old lady.
60s Frat Rock is available on 4 records or 2 cassette tapes for only $19.95. 2 CDs, just $24.95. Here's how to order.
Credit card and COD customers call toll-free 1-800-637-4100 or save COD fees by sending $19.95 for 4 records or 2 cassettes or $24.95 for 2 compact discs, plus $4 shipping and handling to 60s Frat Rock, P.O. Box 1144-AY, Monument, Colorado.
Strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the
Marines. Dear Mrs. Coleman, you don't know me, but I know you know my old red house at the end of the lane. Please forgive me for tracking you down, but I had to thank you. I'm not sure what inspired your kindness, Oh, it's a godsend. Since my wretched hip surgery, just getting to the end of the lane and back takes nearly half an hour, and sometimes the pain just isn't worth it. You brought me something much more important than newspapers. You brought me the understanding that it's the small, the simple things that really help people.
If you're doing just a little, you're helping a lot. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Wednesday, Billy invites Allison to spend the weekend with his parents.
They want me to bring a friend. So, what do you say?
But there's one little thing he forgot to mention.
I told them that you're my girlfriend.
You what?
They're supposed to be in love.
Billy, this is crazy.
It's 2 days. Please.
Will Allison play along?
It's fine with you and Billy sleeping here together on the pull-out couch.
Melrose Place.
This is my worst nightmare.
An all-new episode Wednesday after 9:0210.
Question for the fellas.
Your uniform, Captain.
Yes, it's a shame yours isn't as attractive as mine. Gestapo, I believe.
Quite correct. You should make a very convincing Nazi.
His speech follows no logical pattern.
Random sentences strung together.
Sometimes be difficult.
So is Wednesday night at Arsenio's going to be a hot thing or a cool?
In Sioux Falls.
KTTM, Channel 12, Huron.
In a town where the lives are rich.
Parents, here's how you can share a...
Channel 12, Huron.
Sessions presents Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
The unique sound of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons has made them one of the greatest recording groups of all time. Hi, I'm Frankie Valli. You know, the Four Seasons and I have been making hit records for over 30 years. And now there's a 30th anniversary album by Sessions that features all of our greatest hits.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you.
This amazing 3-record treasury features 30 of their all-time greatest hits.
Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons 30-year anniversary album is available on 3 records or 2 cassette tapes for only $19.95. 2 compact discs, just $24.95. Here's how to order. Credit card and COD customers call toll-free 1-800-255-3257 or save COD fees by saying $19.95 for 3 records or 2 cassettes or $24.95 for 2 compact discs or $24.95 shipping and handling fee. $50. P.O. Box 4000-GH, Colorado Springs, Colorado.